Hello Face of Woha 2022, and as always a warm welcome from me, Annette Greenwood. I'd like to share this video topic with you, which is about triumph over adversity. That is my message to the world. There are three things that have helped me through some very difficult challenges: faith, hope and love. We all face difficulties in our lives, no matter who we are, but it's the things that we do at the time and the practices that we adopt that will help us get through them. So I'd like to share this with you in the hope that it might inspire you if you go through a challenge in your own life at some point. Just a short while ago, my husband was admitted to hospital. In a short time, he was admitted into intensive care as things had progressed, and he was in a coma. Now, when I got to the hospital, I was told that it was unlikely he was going to survive. When I went to see him in intensive care, the doctor and consultant just shook their head and said it was unlikely that he was going to survive this. There were too many complications. I refused to believe that. I refused to accept it. I accepted the situation, but I refused to accept there was nothing that I could do. I was helpless in terms of medical care, but what I did have was faith. What I had was hope, and what I had was a deep love for my husband. So I sat by his bedside all day and all night, apart from going to eat. I slept at the hospital as well. I wanted to be nearby, should the worst happen. Every day I sat there and every day I sang to him. And I've got a terrible singing voice, but I sang to him songs that we both liked. I told him stories. I shared things that were happening in the outside world. And I talked to him about the deep love that we had for each other and how we were going to get through this despite what the doctors had said. There was no way that he could communicate with me, but I just was hoping in my heart that he could hear me. And every day I squeezed his hand and I said, "Squeeze my hand. If you can hear me, squeeze my hand." And every day when I went into the ward, I went in with a smile on my face and I asked the nurse, "How is he today? Any improvement?" No improvement. On one particular day, I was sat by his bedside and I said, "Please, if there's some way you can show me that you can hear me, please let me know." And I was talking away to him about all sorts of things. And then I felt him squeeze my finger. And that was a spark of hope, faith and hope. They were the things that were keeping me going. This continued for a few more days. And each time, as I say, I went into the hospital, I sang, I laughed. And people must have thought I was crazy because there was other people in there and I was trying to do my best to get through this situation. On one particular day, I'd been to get changed and get something to eat, and I came back into the ward and I said what I always said, "How is he today?" And the nurse smiled. I ran excitedly down the ward and my husband was laid there. He was still with all the tubes, but he was out of the coma. He was awake. He couldn't see very well because he was still on all sorts of medication. And he couldn't speak because his throat was so sore. But I bent forward to get close to him and he just mouthed to me 3 words: "I love you." That moment stayed with me and it's still with me today. And just to let you know, my husband did make a full recovery. Why am I sharing this with you? Not because I want you to be sad, but because I want you to think about in your life when you have challenges and difficulties that you think you will never get through, to call in those beliefs, to call in faith, hope, and never to give up when others tell you things are never going to work out. Please remember, you will always, in all of our lives, face difficulties and challenges. But these 3 things of faith, hope and love are the things that got me through, and I wanted to share that with you because it's so important. This might not resonate with you today, but it might in 6 weeks or 6 months when you're going through a challenge. Just remember those 3 words, faith, hope and love, and how this helps you to triumph over adversity. Sending my blessings and love, and thank you so much for listening to this video today on a very emotive topic for me. Thank you.